How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting. Welcome back to Higurashi. When they cry, I'm gonna be crying. Last episode was rough. I mean, it's been getting bad. Like, the last two have been intense, but the needles in the bun, that's the bad one. I don't think we're gonna make this. I'm genuinely very scared. I think it's gonna get real bad soon. We'll just have to see how it plays out, but it's, yeah, so, it's interesting because I was gonna say, Keiichi has kind of two paths, and I felt like he was kind of walking down both inadvertently. I think there's only two ways this ends for him. Either he remains an enemy of the city / of Hinamizawa, and he eventually just gets buried. You know, literally buried by everything that's going on and the dark side of this town. Or we saw a piece of him who started to kind of break and started to say, like, you know what? It's these outsiders that are messing around with us. They shouldn't be bothering us. Why bother? Like, there's a part of him that's kind of drinking the Kool-Aid. And I feel like if he threw himself into that, he might survive. But yeah, I don't know. I think both are bad options. Both are bad, and unfortunately, the only good answer would be to leave. And I just don't think that's gonna happen because it's not like he has the ability to make that choice. So I think it's just gonna be pain, just pain, forever. Yeah. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. There's not much else to say. Rena, Mion, they're on the same page. They're both psychopathic, and I think we're gonna go to school, and it's just gonna get worse. But I think it's all gonna be subtext. It's all gonna be like, hey, everything's fine, and Peachy, right? You get the creepy smile and the dead eyes. It's gonna be, oh, lovely. I don't want to click the button. This is the game. I want to know what happens next, but I'm terrified to know what happens next. Tap, tap, tap. The sound of muffled footsteps stomped in front of the door to my room. A moment of silence, as if whomever they belonged to was ascertaining if I was inside. Of all things I should have been doing, I continued on with my restless slumber. I was very much conscious, but my body hadn't caught up yet. Even with danger bearing down on me from just beyond the door, it was as if I was completely paralyzed and unable to move. Without a doubt, this was sheer terror. Please, just leave. Hey, why isn't my body awake yet? If they came into my room right now, then... Appropriate. I sprung to my feet and threw my covers off at my mom, who was opening the door.
Nani, Keiichi? どうしたの?
ごめん、寝ぼけてた。
I thought it was still 1 or 2 a.m., but the morning sun was already streaming through the gap between the curtains. It felt nothing like morning. Yesterday, I must have fallen asleep right after that. Then I should have gotten a full 10 hours of rest. But I didn't feel like that at all. My internal clock was completely screwed up and my sense of balance felt off. I felt feverish enough that it was clear to me I was still not well.
どう、Keiichi? 体の調子はどう? 学校行けそう?
I felt far from well enough. No, I wasn't mentally fit to go. I was still plagued with the terror from yesterday. If I had swallowed that needle, what would have happened? Or what if it pierced my tongue? There was undoubtedly a murderous intent, but I don't think that was all it was. If they really wanted to kill me, there were other more certain ways to do it. They wouldn't resort to such a dubious method as having me swallow a needle. Meaning, I didn't want to believe it, but going this far was just a threat from Rena and Mion. Aren't you glad you didn't die? But next time, we'll use a more assured method. Like that. Something like that sending a letter with a razor inside would have been a joke compared to this.
ちゃんと病院は行った? お薬は飲んだの?
まあ一応。
Something about my mom's dubious gaze bothered me. She seemed more concerned about her son missing 2 days of school rather than being sick. It was definitely mental fatigue. I wasn't really physically ill.
一度生活のリズムを崩すとなかなか戻らないんだから。さあ、起きて起きて。病は気からって言うのよ。
Yeah, they also say illnesses are real. I'd heard that line many times before. I was given an award in elementary school for having perfect attendance, but it wasn't like I was healthier than anyone.
ささ、顔洗ってらっしゃい。
Oh, so he has perfect attendance, not because he's healthier than anybody else, but because his mom would make him go to school sick. That's super good.
ご飯はもうできてるわよ。もうレナちゃんが来るまであまり時間がないわよ。
Mom's tone meant I couldn't argue about it, so I had to give up on skipping a second day.
そうそう。今の壁にぼたもちを投げつけたのはケイチ？ダメよ、あんなことしちゃ。お父さん、怒ってたわよ。
I didn't feel particularly guilty for doing it, so I didn't have much of a reaction. Also, Mom didn't question me any further about it. She headed back downstairs after she was certain I was getting up. What Mion said as she left yesterday, "I'd hate it if you missed school tomorrow," came back and dwelled in the back of my head. What did she mean by that? I didn't even have to really think about it. She was saying, don't be absent. Taking that a bit further was the same as her saying I should just go about living my life as if nothing had happened. If I showed any signs of acting unusual, it would probably result in them making their move. If I acted differently, someone like Oishi-san, for example, might end up noticing that something is up. Meaning if I didn't watch my mouth or did anything differently from the norm, in effect, it would end up communicating something to those who were undesirable. And it seems that was something the girls didn't intend to forgive. So, if I just went along as normal, no harm would come to me. Was that how it was going to be? I still don't think so. I think if he plays the role and just kind of pretends that things are fine from here on out, and starts ignoring Oishi, I still think that next Watanagashi, he's going to be on the docket. And I think, again, a major motivator is going to be Rena believing that she's up on the docket for dying next year. And she thinks that if she can target somebody else, she might be safe. For her, it's about protecting her family. But it's a madness all of her own, I think. All that misery I experienced up until yesterday would almost creepily just fade away. It was an enticing deal. Just by forgetting everything I'd seen or heard these last few days, I'd be able to keep living like normal.
そんな虫のいい話あるわけ？
I swallowed hard. I once again deliberated on the idea that I had just rejected. Mion was probably a good person who had her friends at heart. She was giving me, who had mistakenly broken some rules of theirs, a chance. I mean, if it lets you live, I get why you're thinking that. It's so funny, because normally, like, I get really salty or really, like, frustrated with people who are very, like, dismissive or, like, ignoring potential dangers. But genuinely here, I'm not sure Keiichi has another choice. Either he goes along with it, becomes accepted by the group, and maybe survives, or he buckles down and tries to not die before they can actually end up getting the information they need. But I think that that's not likely. I think he would just die. What was it? What was what I did really something so unforgivable? But Mion had given me another chance. She was saying if I just forget everything and kept living on like I had been, I'd be forgiven.
Keiichi! ご飯冷めちゃうわよ。急いで降りてらっしゃい。早くしないとレナちゃんが来ちゃうわよ。
あ、今行くよ。
I crammed my textbook into my bag and hastily made my way downstairs. I picked up my somewhat bland breakfast. Seeing that I didn't have much time, it was already past when I usually met up with Rena. Given yesterday's event, she'd probably be here in the next 5 minutes. I needed to be ready to head to school by then. I had to forget everything that happened in the past 2 days. Forget it all and return to my normal life. For this to be normal, I'll have to be where I normally meet up with Rena. Today of all days, the rice was dry and hard to get down. Ding dong. I jumped at the sound and dropped my chopsticks. That chime signaled Rena had arrived. Mom hurried me along.
ほら、レナちゃん来ちゃったわよ。急いで急いで。
My mother's merry smile and gloomy face were polar opposites. And my gloomy face, not her face. Honestly, I was reluctant to see Rena, who was waiting there on the other side of the door. The Rena on the other side. Was it the Rena I knew? Couldn't keep her waiting. I needed to do things as usual. Oh, her sprite jump scared us. I don't like you anymore. Someone asked in the comments like how I felt about characters, and from the beginning, I was a little put off by Rena. I understood why Keiichi was interested in her, and I felt like there was definitely a strong chemistry between the two. But me personally, I always felt like there was something off about her, something I didn't quite like, and it's just also just her personality and the way she exudes. Now that's heightened, it feels justified, obviously, but even from the beginning, I was kind of like, about her. Now I'm just like, please don't go away. An invigorating greeting filtered in from across the doorway.
ケイチ君、遅かったから来てみたけど、今日はどうかな？
And the manner in which Rena was concerned was, without a doubt, the Rena I knew. But that was probably only if I reciprocated. Forget everything from yesterday, pretend as though nothing had happened. Forget about the gruesome dismemberment. Forget about the mysterious deaths that happened the following years. Forget about the people falling to their deaths, the terminal illness, suicide, the fatal beatings, the disappearances. Forget it. All of it. Forget that Rena and Mion were scary. Of course. Forget it all. Forget all about all of it. Forget about the mochi, too. Forget. Rena once again asked me to make sure.
学校、行けそう？
大丈夫だよ。
よかった。じゃあ行こう。みーちゃん待ってるよ。
I'm sure she is. Rena showed me her usual bright smile. I couldn't find any hint of deceit in her expression. My nervousness dissipated, giving way to relief.
なのにさとこちゃんね、絶対にできるって意地になっちゃって。
As we were walking, Rena talked a lot about different stuff, more so than usual.
それで？
さとこちゃん不吉祥だから何度やってもできないの。かいかったんだよ。
Everything Rena talked about was just silly nonsense, so I just replied every so often and laughed from time to time. It was a rather laid-back conversation. We passed by one of our neighbors and they called out to us.
あれ？ケイチちゃんにレナちゃん。今日はちょっと遅いんじゃないの？ミオンちゃん、先に行くって言ってたわよ。
みーちゃん怒ってるかな？早く行こう、ケイチ君。
After greeting our neighbor with a smile, Rena turned back to me and poked her tongue out. Not expecting that, I couldn't help but crack a smile.
ケイチ君笑った。
なんだよ。
Rena stopped and stared at me.
ケイチ君、今朝もなんか元気なかったから、まだ風邪が治らないのかなって思ってたけど、大丈夫みたいだね。
Can we just not talk about this? With a grin, she gently poked my cheek. It was a bright, sincere smile. Hey, Keiichi Maibara. How can you still doubt Rena after she shows you a smile like that? Maybe I just had a high fever up until today, and I imagined everything that I thought happened because I was bedridden and delirious. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? I really hoped that was the case. I know. If God would grant me just one wish, there was only one thing I'd wish for. I would want what happened in the past few days. More specifically, the night of the Watanagashi up until last night. I want all of that to have never happened. I wonder how many times I'd wish for these past few days. As long as Rena kept smiling like this, I think I might just become reality. So I wanted Rena to keep on smiling. Keep on smiling.
で、ケイチ君、
Oh no.
昨日のおはぎ、ちゃんと食べてくれた？
Why'd you have to say it? A vain wish of mine was instantly shattered. My heart began palpitating. The relaxed morning mood suddenly became frigid. Rena's smile was the same as usual, her eyes gentle as usual. Those mochi yesterday, did you eat them all? Of course, she wasn't asking the question of face value. In other words, Rena was asking, did you get the message? She was probably trying to convey that.
ケイチ君？
I was reluctant to give an answer, and Rena stopped walking to stare deeply into my eyes. Don't hesitate, Keiichi Maibara. Rena was acting the same as always, wasn't she? I intended to respond my usual way. Naturally, of course. But both my throat and mouth had gone dry, and my lips were stuck together. Hurry to answer, Keiichi. Not that much time had passed. I could still keep the conversation going naturally. I had to say something quickly. Rena playfully mimicked what I said, and I finally squeaked something out. Rena's reaction was still normal. Seemed like there wasn't as long of a pause as I had thought. Somehow I finally squeaked out the rest.
うまかった。
However, my strained effort neither sullied nor brightened Rena's expression. For a moment, I panicked, thinking I had replied incorrectly. But after a few moments, Rena broke into her usual soft smile and giggled with a joyful voice that seemed to echo through the morning air. Go, come fetch me! He's like playing he's playing a game and he doesn't understand all the rules of the game, but this game is like real serious. being strung along by that laugh, I couldn't help but laugh as well.
そうなんだ。
Mm.
で、全部食べたのかな？
My timid smile froze again. Did you make it without swallowing the sewing needle? Was that what she was asking? If I had swallowed it, then I wouldn't be here.
いや、全部は食べきれなかったからさ、まだ残ってるんだよ。
I was scared out of my wits, but that's how I played it.
あれれ？どれがレナが作ったのか当てる宿題はどうなっちゃったのかな？
あの宿題って今日までだったっけ？
うん、今日までなんだよ。みーちゃん怒るよ。きっと罰ゲームだね。
We both laughed at each other again. Oh, penalty game. A penalty game. Oh no. To a casual observer, it's just a typical morning. If I could let myself believe, then even I'd think it was just the usual morning routine. But I was certain I wasn't mistaken. There was something unimaginable buried beneath the facade of this giggling Rena. I recalled that unexpected, piercing voice that I could hardly believe came from Rena's mouth. The moment that image crossed my mind, I felt a cold sweat trickle down my back. Was it only at that particular time that something evil had possessed Rena? No, that was wrong. That was still Rena. Oishi-san told me, didn't he?
実は調べてみたら、竜宮さんは引っ越しの少し前に学校で謹慎処分を受けているんですよ。
Oh, fetch.
なんでも学校中のガラスを割って回ったんだとか。
Rena had a disorder that no more people didn't. No matter how pleasant she smiled, the fact would not change. But I couldn't even imagine how she looked as she broke all the glass throughout the school. One thing I knew was that it wasn't something spur of the moment. If it was some sudden outburst of anger, then maybe she'd break a pane or two. But she broke all the windows throughout her school. Just imagine going through your own school, breaking the windows with a bat. Oh. Whoa, look at that. It's just so menacing. Oh my gosh. Swinging full force at each pane of glass, one after another, paying no heed to the flying shards. Your classmates aghast, unable to move from the sudden turn of events. I wonder where she could have found the most windows lined up in a row. Probably the hallway. Walk, wind up. Walk, wind up. It was difficult for me to connect that horrifying image of Rena smiling at me right now. But I just had to imagine it. Impossible because it was unimaginable. The naive way of thinking no longer worked. The unpleasant piercing sound of shattering glass, the crunching noises Rena threads across the broken shards, walking toward me. Rena's classmates going pale as they forgot to even breathe. I wonder what they did as Rena came closer, breaking windows along her path. Did they earnestly try to bring her to her senses by saying something? Or did they jump at her, trying to stop her savagery? Or did they run to the staff room to call for the teachers? Probably none of those. In the face of that blood-curdling sight of Rena busting window after window, undoubtedly all they could do was silently clear a path for her. Dumbfounded, just clear the path for Rena to continue. It would be cruel to blame anyone who for looking the other way. No, they weren't simply looking the other way. They knew it was the only way they could protect themselves. If they had done something different from the rest, they may have suddenly found themselves as Rena's new target. What would Rena have done to whomever attracted her attention? The answer was obvious. She would have undoubtedly acted according to her whims. Meaning I would, be the next window. Rena stared into my eyes, shards of glass crunching and crackling underfoot as she drew closer. I was also drawn into her eyes, paralyzed. Then Rena struck me with a bat over and over again like I was one of those windows. I crouched down on the floor, desperately protecting my head. Rena didn't care whether it was in my head or my back. Zealously, she hit me again and again. What kind of expression was she making as she was doing this over and over again? I peered up to see. Her expression was so indifferent, it was completely unnerving. Because no matter how many times she struck me, it didn't make it as pleasant a sound as the other windows. This isn't actually happening though, right? She struck me continuously, over and over again. The sound Rena wanted didn't come out. Or her classmates standing around didn't try to stop her. They didn't want to be the next window. Somebody save me. Turning a blind eye unless we were hanging out. But of course, everyone in class stumbled to obtain the highest standardized test scores. They'd gain nothing by saving a cram school tryhard like me. Eventually, there would be a faint sound, similar to when you crack open a walnut. Some sort of reddish-black spray would shoot out. Anyway, it wasn't that Rena's momentarily lost herself in her anger. After forcing myself to breathe and calm down, my heart recalled what Oishi-san told me.
でですね、そのカウンセリングをした医師のカルテに、レナさんの会話内容が記載されているんですがね。
Right.
その中に出てくるんですよ。結構。
何がです？
出てくるんですよ。親代様って単語が。
Following that, Rena was suspended and having regular examinations at the hospital. Oh, okay, so I'm not sure how clear that comes across for you. It's probably there, but listen. Do you hear that, like, high-pitched background, kind of like, almost like strings, but it's almost more like a static sound, but less grating or harsh. It's more like horror movie undertone. It's really unnerving. And then as Rena was undergoing counseling, she said it over and over. Oyashiro-sama.
親代様っていう幽霊みたいなものがですね、夜な夜な自宅にやってくるっていうんですよ。
Oh my gosh.
枕元に立って自分を見下ろすんだって。
That was only a piece of their conversation, so I still couldn't see the big picture, but it was no means a happy little conversation. Then what Rena did, was she saying their ghastly incident was a result of her being possessed by Oyashiro-sama? Until now, I didn't want to believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's why I wanted to say the mysterious deaths in every year had been because of some sort of conspiracy. Every time I talked to Oishi-san, it was more certain the deaths were works of men, not some curse. Except if it was people perpetrating the incidents, my friends were somehow deeply connected. If I refused to believe the curse was real, then I would have to believe those who acted in kindness to me were deeply involved in the incidents. Why? How? For what reason? Was everybody... It was much more painful and troublesome than accepting that it was just Oyashiro-sama's curse. In the aftermath, Rena admitted to her doctor that it was because she was possessed by Oyashiro-sama. I felt a strange sense of relief from that. So that's how it was. There wasn't a second side to Rena. She did that because she was possessed by something strange like Oyashiro-sama. It wasn't Rena's fault. Oyashiro-sama was the one to blame. I knew. This was all backwards. Refusing to believe there was a curse, I wanted there to be a human perpetrator. Now that my close friends were the ones under suspicion, I changed my beliefs at my own convenience, saying it was Oyashiro-sama's curse to blame. Which was the better choice? Accepting that Oyashiro-sama's curse exists? Or that Rena and the rest of them were deeply involved in a string of mysterious deaths? Didn't want to think about it. Yeah, that's the truth. Like, it's not even a question. Like, if you're an outside observer, then what's easier to believe? That the curse is real or that people are conspiring and using the curse as a cover? Obviously the people. But if it were your close friends, if it were people you loved and cared for, and you felt had loved and cared for you, which would you want to believe? It'd be the curse. Because if you accept the other, you have to accept that some of the people whom you enjoy being around the most, whom you trust the most, are some of the biggest monsters in the world. But I just didn't think about it. I'd be able to continue the same as always. I wanted to believe that. But that was no longer possible. I had received their message. It was pathetic of me to try and bend the meaning to my own convenience. Regardless of whether my opponent were human or a curse, I won't let it kill me. As if it would just bend over and give in. For no good reason at all.
ケイチ君、さっきから変な顔してる。なんでだろう。
Inhaling sharply upon hearing Rena's voice, I came back to my senses. Before I had realized it, we were already at the entrance. Shaking my head a few times, I exercised all those terrifying thoughts. No matter how you look at it, there's no way Rena could have done such terrible things. It was like I was trying to placate myself. Ow! I slid the door open, the blackboard eraser loaded with chalk dropped out of my head the moment I stepped into the classroom. The chalk dust went into my eyes, inducing a brief moment of agony.
ずる休みの圭一さんにはお似合いですことよ。圭一もレナもおはようございますです。おはよう、さとこちゃんにリカちゃん。
Not quite in the mood for it, I didn't really react to Satoko's trap. Satoko braced herself as I passed by, expecting me to attack her. She seemed a bit disappointed as I simply walked by silently.
なんなんですの？張り合いがありませんわ。圭一、まだ本調子じゃないみたいです。
It's kind of a lot to ask, but yeah.
だから、今日は加減してあげて、ね。
Suddenly, there was a slap down on my shoulder. It hurt a bit.
よ、ケイちゃん。しっかり休んできた？
It was Mion. My mind was full of the stuff about Rena, but Mion was also a party of interest. Remember, Keiichi, that hawkish gaze from yesterday?
ああ、おはよ
なんだなんだ。ずいぶんと覇気のない挨拶じゃん。差し入れのおはぎ、ちゃんと食べてくれなかったの？
I'm like this because I ate them. Those words were itching to be blurted out.
う。やっぱ食欲がなくてさ。
That's the wrong answer, Keiichi!
いくつかは食べたけど、だいぶ残しちゃったんだ。
あれ？じゃあ宿題は？どれがレナの手作りかってのの回答は？
圭一くん宿題忘れなんだって。
I think that's the wrong answer. Regardless of what he decides to do with all of this, I think he's messed up here.
ありゃー。じゃあ仕方ないね。罰ゲーム。ひひひひひ。
Flashing a lurid smile, Mion returned to her seat. There was nothing from our exchanges that would cause the classmates to suspect anything was amiss. But of course, anyone listening to our conversations up until this morning wouldn't see anything suspicious. That was why it was so frightening. They acted in a way that, regardless of whatever happened to Keiichi Maebara, no one would ever suspect them. That fact had me terrified. Oh, that's kind of clever. All the games and the punishments. Yeah, if it's just seen as normal, if they suddenly take a really harsh turn, they could just make it sound like it was an accident. And no one would ever think twice about that. Oh, oh my gosh. That's so devious. It's like so, it expresses a level of foresight and preparation that exceeds anything that would be like even remotely innocent. Like, it's like they brought him in as a friend, got him involved in their social life, because if he turned out to be an enemy, they'd have a perfect way to eliminate him without people suspecting anything. It's like they intended for this to be the result from the beginning. Either he would become a part of their group, or he would become an enemy and be eliminated. And that was like, they must have seen him walk in on the first day and been like, perfect. Exactly what we need. Soon the teacher came. After she asked how I felt, I took an attendance. Another dull, ordinary day began. Keiichi, you gotta tell him you know which one. Avoiding it's just making it worse. He's not even buying time. He's just gonna make it worse. The free study period was a convenient time to consider where I stood. I gently closed my eyes and pondered the ridiculous position I was in right now. First of all, what I shouldn't forget was how dangerous of a situation I was in. I had fallen out of favor with them. After interacting with Oishi-san multiple times, I could see it as getting closer to the heart of the matter. The warning yesterday with the mochi was a good indicator of that. No, calling it a warning was just my habit of understating things. It probably had no meaning beyond stunting my progress and buying themselves some time. Until they had a method of completely erasing me, they were just biding their time. Even though they were keeping me under their thumb with threats, that didn't change the fact that I knew too much. The chilling sensation at my desk made me recall Satoshi Hojo, the boy who was using the seat until last year when he disappeared. Was he also similar to me? Did he learn something he shouldn't have and was erased? Dang it. I wouldn't let them get rid of me so easily. Never. I mean, wouldn't Oishi-san have told you he died? I think he just moved. But were they really trying to kill me? I've had these contradictory feelings for a while now. Even though I suspected them, I felt like I had to cover for them. Even having witnessed all their suspicious behavior, a morning like this just made it all seem like an elaborate hoax. No, that's just what I want to believe. Doubting my friends? Covering for them? My life was in danger. Or was it? Actually, it was debating the wrong point. Given my current situation, these points were something that should have been deliberate on a long time ago. But really, Rena and the rest of them? Were they actually aiming to kill me? The little voice inside me continued to torment me with these unresolved trains of thought. Are you an idiot, Keiichi Maibara? The answer should be obvious. But maybe that sewing needle might have just been an accident, right? No. How could you screw up and drop a sewing needle into a piece of mochi? The benefit for the doubt can only go so far. Both Rena and Mion had acted and behaved suspiciously, but maybe it was all some sort of misunderstanding? What kind of misunderstanding? It wasn't just suspicious, it was outright ludicrous, right? Rena just corrected me for lying. Mion only asked for me what I had for lunch. Rena was standing outside my door eavesdropping for a solid hour. She was probably just waiting for my phone call to end? For a whole hour outside your room? And is it normal to go home afterwards without saying anything? You heard from Moishi-san, didn't you? About what Rena did at her formal school? But at the hospital, it said that it was Oyashiro-san's fault.
いい加減にしろよ、前原圭一。お前、命を狙われてるって自覚あるのかよ。
I inadvertently blurted those words out loud. Oh, fetch me, we're gonna die. Hearing myself say it so distinctly left me dumbfounded for a few moments. Afterwards, I had to look around and check if anyone else had heard it. My little soliloquy cut a little too close to the truth. Even though I could feel the murderous intent from Rena and the others, part of me was still somewhere was still trying to deny it. This late in the game, such hesitation could be fatal. I knew that. But I was just your average student, a man living his normal, ordinary life. Do you think I could suddenly believe that my friends who had been happily laughing together up until last Sunday now intended to kill me? Right?
甘えるな、圭一。
This time I remembered to keep my voice down so only I could hear it. There was only one thing I now understood. I was too soft. I didn't completely understand how dangerous Rena and the rest of them were. No, I wasn't trying to understand. I was too soft for not listening to Oishi-san when he was earnestly showing me the heart of the matter. I didn't listen because I was too busy pretending to be dejected. I didn't comprehend it. I was just running away. I didn't comprehend it, so nobody had any notion to try and kill me. I needed to get rid of such naive thoughts. As I made the resolution, I heard the bell signaling the end of class. So soon. The day was already over. I didn't recall eating lunch or doing anything in class. My friends were putting their desks together in preparation for club activities. Not long ago, I would have probably have happily jumped into that circle.
圭一さん、帰り支度とはあんまりですことよ。
That was Satoko spoke. It was so typical and familiar, almost physically hurt.
あれ？圭一くん、今日は都合悪いのかな？かな？
Okay, you're making it sound so sad. You all bounced last week. Or last time.
今日こそ二人で大勝利。はあ。
Seeing Rena's expression, which said she was really looking forward to today, was hard to take. Hey, Keiichi, maybe Oishi-san's just some enormous jerk trying to separate me from the others by lying to me? Slap. Trying to expunge such weak-minded thinking, I slapped myself in the face.
圭一くん？
Yeah, was Rena really trying to kill me? I wish someone would tell me it was a hoax. I didn't care if it actually was one or not, I just want someone to say it was. Yet another weak-willed thought. How did I ever become this naive?
大丈夫？頭痛いの？
Oh, it's making it so bad, so much worse. Apparently that was how my inner dilemma appeared to Rena.
顔色悪いよ。一人で帰れる？送ってった方がいいかな？かな？
いや、いい。ごめん、一人で帰れる。部活はみんなでやってくれよ。
Upon hearing that I wasn't going to participate in the club meeting, Mion pouted unhappily.
ケイちゃんがリベンジ熱望してたってんで、今日はせっかくこの間の推理ゲームにしたってのにな。
圭一さんにはリターンマッチに臨む熱いハートはありませんですの？情けないですわね。
I wouldn't fall for some dumb taunt. Without even a real retort, I grabbed my bag and was about to get up. Someone's hand perched itself gently on my head.
圭一、具合悪そうです。かわいそうですよ。
Hey, Rika. It's funny because she seems the most like reasonable, and that almost makes me suspect her the most. Like, are you like the secret mastermind or something? It was Rika-chan. She was stretched up as far as she could, doing her best to pat my head with her petite hand. Felt so nice, which made things even harder.
ごめんな、みんな。じゃあ。
That's all I said as I quickly left the classroom. They said something to me as I was leaving, but I couldn't make it out. I managed to make it all the way to the entrance in that state of mind, took out my shoes, put them on, and went forward. Forward. Harden that heart, Keiichi Maibara. They were, for some unfathomable reason, trying to kill me. They were plotting something dubious, watching my every move. But I couldn't hate them, because weren't they my friends? Part of me lamented the naivete, which another part lamented the fact that I had lost something important by lamenting over it in the first place. I felt like my personality was being ripped in two along with my body. If this was what Oishi-sama's curse was like, then it was just too harsh. Hey, Oyashiro-sama, I was wrong for not believing in your curse. But I believe in it now. Completely. Your curse does exist. So seriously, give me a break. I beg you, come on. Something bad's gonna happen tonight. Is someone gonna light our house on fire? Dinner was unusually bland. I had no flavor or aroma. The miso soup that normally tantalized my appetite instead tasted nothing but boiled water. Dad was eating with us that night. It was a rare occurrence in this household. When he got to his work, he ate, he slept at his own schedule. My dad never cared about the time. Since my dad was at the dinner table, it either meant he just reached a good point to take a break or he's in a slump.
とにかく作家のモチベーションってものを理解してないんだよ彼は。
タイアップの話だって口約束なんでしょ。そんなに反りが合わないならきっぱりお断りしたら。
助け合いの世界だからお互い様だとは思うんだけど、これじゃ仕事にな。
I clicked early, sorry. I wasn't able to pick out much of my mom and dad's conversation, but I could tell it wasn't a very pleasant topic. That, of course, made the disgusting food even less appealing. Staring lidlessly in the exchange between my parents, my mind wandered off the same thought process I'd been going all day long. Friends close to me? No, they used to be my friends, but I could no longer trust them. Right now, I was greatly lacking in allies. People I trusted, people I could depend on when push came to shove, they were something I just didn't have. Having just one ally would have been incredibly reassuring in the currently hopeless situation I was in. I put down my chopsticks and looked over at my parents who were still talking about work. The first course of action that came to mind was to tell my parents everything. Currently, there wasn't a single person from Hinamizawa who could trust 100%. I bet the only people I could trust were my parents. But if I told them everything that happened up until now, would they understand? Rena, for example. That neighborly Rena who was so diligent in looking after me, came to give me every day and sometimes brought over a share of what she made. How could I explain that she wanted to kill me? No matter how I explained it, it would probably be difficult for anyone to comprehend. My somewhat eccentric dad wouldn't understand, and my high-strung mom would probably drag me off to a psychiatrist in the blink of an eye. Sadly, that was the amount of trust that existed in our relationship. Still, though, considering like the potential morbid state, like the fact that you could die, they have a history of orchestrating deaths, if not perpetrating them. Telling people might do a lot of good. It might help, if nothing else, catch them. Even if they did come to understand, what could they possibly do? Unless they could uncover the truth, they wouldn't be able to protect me. No, by informing them of these unnecessary things, I'd be putting my parents in danger as well. Considering that the victims of past incidents were often married couples, I couldn't even joke about it. For the entire Maibara family to have an accident or just vanish into thin air was easily possible in Hinamizawa. What was important here was not knowing something unnecessary put you in danger. The most unsettling question was, how did they know that I knew? As long as they didn't know, my parents might not fall victim. That was one way to think about it, I guess. At least it was like that in my case. After I found out, things started becoming odd. In other words, it meant the following. As long as my parents didn't know anything, nothing would happen to them. Which meant that this household would be safe haven as long as my parents were in. I knew these were just assumptions based on conjecture on top of conjecture. Wanting this house to be a safe haven, that was the pinnacle of my weak-willed method of thinking. I had to concede that there was not completely safe, but only safer than the outside. I knew that I couldn't rely on my parents. No, I couldn't risk getting my parents involved. Then the only person who could be my ally would be Oishi-san. Him and him alone. He was the only person who understood the situation I was in. He didn't care so much about my safety, but he was without a doubt passionate about solving this case. It was a bit frustrating. Oishi-san was basically the whole reason I was in this mess. I right-clicked for no reason. Now to get out of it, I had to rely on him. Meaning, it was all going according to his devices. It was just my job to look appetizing while bobbing in the waves as bait. Then when the fish started gathering around, Oishi-san would pull up his big haul. It was slightly infuriating, but even I thought that was the best course of action. So then, what should I do? Patience was the first rule of fishing. Just keep waiting until the fish actually bites. But I wasn't simply bait. There were lots of ways for me to struggle before being devoured. When they struck, I needed to somehow dodge just enough to tag out to Oishi-san. No question it was going to be hard. The timing to bring Oishi-san in would be difficult. He was in the city, not Hinamizawa. So if I phoned him in the moment of need, it would take him 30 minutes to reach me. So I needed to run away for those 30 minutes. For example, if we set up a rendezvous point for a dire situation or something, I'd just have to hide out there until Oishi-san arrived.
Yoshi. 少し見えてきたぞ.
I don't see a happy ending to this story. I was still being chased around in the dark by boogeymen, but now I knew which way to go. I would never have imagined this would be so reassuring. Oh yeah, it'd probably be best if I had a concealed weapon for when things got rough. Typical, that would call for a switchblade, but that wasn't too reassuring for combat. Also, since it was recognized as a weapon by the public, it also wasn't good. Really, when the time comes, a long weapon like a bat would work in my favor. I remembered there was a metal bat at school. I could be confident with that when I push came to shove. If I pretended I was practicing my swing, then it wouldn't be suspicious for me to always carry it around. I could go to school early tomorrow and secure it. Just possessing a weapon may be enough to deter them. Also, one more thing, insurance. It could be something like a note or a memo. I could write down everything that's happened as a sort of journal. In case I suddenly vanished, the journal would be left behind. With my journal in his possession, Oishi-san could be able to avenge my death. I left my parents engrossed in their conversation about work and went back to my room. I mean, he's right, that's a good idea, but I'm terrified that they're going to discover it, and it's just going to make him look even more guilty. I tore out a piece of paper from the notebook and made my way to my desk. Last time I wrote a journal was for summer homework in elementary school. On the off chance something bad happened, the police could use my diary as a lead. So I should only write down the facts. How should I start? I jotted down my thoughts as they came. I, Keiichi Maibara, am in fear for my life. It made me laugh nervously. It was a line that showed up often in detective stories, and never even dreamt that I'd be the one be in a type of situation where I'd write it myself. I didn't know why they're after my life. Rena and the others were suspicious, but I had no proof, and that's why I couldn't write anything more. I laughed wryly at myself for writing such a passage draped in mystery. Would the police be able to get a hint from reading this enigmatic passage? I could only pray that they would. What I prayed for the most, though, was that the journal never needed to play its part. Here I laughed nervously. It was too simple, so I wrote down one more line I just thought of. The only thing I do know is that it has to do with Oishiro-sama's curse. Was that too much? I probably shouldn't write more than that. If I wrote any more, then it would seem like I was just delusional. In order to appear to the reader that the person had written this was of sound mind, I chose not to write anything else at that point. I just needed to add more as I learned more about the truth. I folded the paper and thought about the place to hide it. By hiding it somewhere obvious, there was a chance that they would uncover it instead. On the other hand, if it was too obscure of a location, then there was a risk nobody finding it at all. In the end, I decided to take the clock off my wall and stick my folded note in the back with the scotch tape. After that, I put the clock back in its normal position. Yeah, it didn't look like anything was hidden behind it. Now I need to set up that, if anything happens to me, my parents could find it. I looked at it from countless different angles until I was satisfied and made my way downstairs. My parents are still talking about work. It didn't look like it was going to end anytime soon, so I cut in.
話中ごめん。ちょっと聞いてもらっていいかな。
I'd never started off a conversation like that before, so my parents were both startled. They stopped talking and turned toward me.
どうしたの、ケイチ？
お願いがあるんだけど、聞いてほしいんだ。もしもだよ。
ケイイチ、急ぎの話じゃなきゃ後にしなさい。お父さんとお母さんはちょっと今、急ぎの話をしてるんだ。
I didn't think their talk was more urgent than mine. In any case, I stated my request.
もしもだよ、俺が死んだらさ、
Both my parents' eyes went wide as saucers.
死んだらさ、俺の部屋にある時計、あれを棺に入れてほしいんだ。
If they did that, they'd probably find it. My memoir. Both my parents remained wide-eyed, not moving an inch. I couldn't blame them.
あの時計、工作の授業で作ったお気に入りなんだ。頼むよ。
どうしたの？
Yeah, they're gonna think he's gonna hurt himself.
ケイチ、何かあったの？
Mom was finally able to ask me the question with a questioning gaze. Of course, this was a normal response when someone's son suddenly started talking about a subject like this. I felt bad about making them worry, but right now I just wanted them to think about the clock in my room. With that awkward mood leaving the room in silence, I decided to go back up to my room.
俺さ、明日は早くに学校に行きたいから、もう寝るよ。おやすみ。
Saying only that, I left the living room. I needed to get to school early tomorrow and secure that bat. I should make today the last day I went to school with Rena. As I climbed the stairs, I heard my mom call my name, but I pretended not to hear her. That wasn't something I could talk about with my parents. If I talked about it, it would only make things more dangerous. The fight that had begun was mine and mine alone. I couldn't rely on anybody. I wouldn't be killed. Not when I still knew nothing. It's sad because it's like, that feels like a lie that you can't bring others in, or that it was it's somehow not worth talking to people about it. But it's also true that there's a lot of cases of people who do genuinely try to reach out to authorities, to loved ones, who give all the warning indications and trying to say, hey, there's something wrong, and they just aren't taken seriously. There's this case I heard about. It was this super cult type of stuff that was involved. It was this lady in Arizona, and she started going into this culty type stuff, and her ex-husband got to the point where he called the police and talked to them and said hey, my wife's going crazy. She's talking about purging the evil in people, and I'm worried that she's going to hurt people, and she might hurt me. And then a few weeks later, he gets assassinated in his own living room. And the guy who did it claims it was an accident. And they don't pursue it as a murder case. This lady then goes on and she moves away. And then her son-in-law, who was asking a lot of questions and started being concerned, he suddenly gets killed by a drive-by shooting. And then the wife of a man that she was falling in love with suddenly gets killed by a drive-by shooting a few days later. And then another guy gets killed in the same way. Another wife gets nearly killed the same way. Then her children go missing in Idaho, and she flees the country, and they eventually bring her in. And eventually, after, I think 9 months of investigating, they find, the remains of her children in a fire pit. She was orchestrating these horrific crimes. And they were, from the beginning, people were nervous and calling out, saying, I think my life's in danger, to police, and nothing was done. And when they died shortly after saying, I'm fearful for my life, they just dismissed it as a mistake, a misfired weapon. It's just insane. And it's that wasn't that long ago. That was a few years ago. And so that's what's kind of terrifying about this situation, is that even if he was more open, which I think he should have been, it might not have changed anything and might not have been taken seriously. Even within the police, Oichi-san seems to be the only person who would potentially take it seriously at all. Other police might disregard it. In fact, they were ordered to disregard it. Oh, my stomach hurts. This game, I've had moments in stories where I felt nervous or really upset or really intense. But this game makes my guts just writhe and twist. I feel awful. I feel gross. So we're gonna look at the new tip. All right, not feeling so hot. I agree.
最近、ケイチくんの元気がないね。機嫌が悪いのかな？
Yeah, I wonder why.
さーて、どうしたんだろうね。恋の病にでもかかってるんじゃないの？
みーちゃん、それ飛躍しすぎ。どう思う？
さあね。ケイちゃんひょっとして、かな？
わかんない。
あの日、ケイちゃんと車で話してたの。中年のでっぷりした男だったんでしょ？
うん。間違いない。
Oh, this is the conversation they had probably when they decided to go visit him with the mochi. Like the day he just didn't go to school, they're kind of talking about it.
大石のやつ、ケイちゃんに何を吹き込んでるのかな？
真剣そうだったよ。ケイチ君は顔面蒼白だった。
あのね、レナはよく知らないだろうけど、実はあいつ、お社様の使いなんだよ。
Wait, who? Oishi is the messenger of Oyashiro-sama?
何の話？
あいつが現れるとね、必ず鬼隠しが起こるの。本当だよ。
Oh. If the boy that got transferred out was demoned away, or the demoned away person is whoever in town. Oh, okay, that's what it is. Someone who's accepted into the town, who's a town member, but who starts working with police too much because Oishi-san is like the primary person investigating these cases and seems most driven by him. And if someone talks with him too much, they disappear.
あれ？そうなの？
おととし、リカちゃんのお母さんが受水したでしょ？その直前に大石が尋問してたんだよ。
Right.
そういえば、サトシ君が転校する前にもいたね。
転校？レナはいいやつだよな。
で、今度はケイチ君の前に現れたんだ。じゃあ、ケイチ君も鬼隠しになっちゃう？
Yeah, that's what that. There's the human element right there. They see Oichi-san as an enemy because he keeps prying, he keeps digging, and so anybody who gets too close to him, they make vanish. An empty silence hung in the air, and then it was suddenly interrupted. By loud laughter. Oh, that was horrifying. Oh no. Oh, we're so dead. Oh, Keiichi, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. You're gonna die. Fetch me. Oh, that's rough. Okay, we're screwed. Yeah, we're gone. It feels like we don't even have time left. Like, is this game fairly short? Like, I know there's like a bunch of chapters, so it wouldn't be that unbelievable to believe that chapter 1, which is this game, is almost over. Is it gonna be him being demoned away / dying, and that's just gonna be the end? And then we move on to chapter 2? Is that how this is playing? Is that how are we almost already done with chapter 1? Like, that's freaking horrifying. That's freaking nuts. Aw. My soul, my heart, I can't take this much more. I can, I'm gonna play through the whole way. I'm so invested, but like, holy crap. Can you imagine even being remotely involved in this stuff? Just, like I said, my guts just feel like they're being wrenched and ripped and raw from just this, like, the oppressive, ominous, like, pressure just coming down from the writing and the atmosphere and the characters. It's smothering. It's a smothering type of story. It's really good, but it's almost like I have to come up for air. I'm glad I make these episodes like they follow the chapter length and about an hour long. It's like, I can't imagine someone trying to play this all in like 1 or 2 settings, like just going through the like a blast of the game. Just like, it feels like I just need to breathe. Holy crap. Okay, we're gonna move on from here. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel and for being a part of this. I hope you're enjoying this, and yeah, we're gonna be trying to do some brief changes in the near future. We'll see how it plays out, but one of the things I'm planning to do for this year is I want to try and make things more accessible, and one of the ways I can do that is if I can enhance subtitles. So do like a proper reviewed subtitle submission, and even then, I think that at that point it can be translated to other languages fairly decently by the auto system. Man, it would be great if I could get some official translations done. But again, I just don't have funds for that kind of thing. But I'm going to start by trying to get some proper, instead of the auto-made subtitles, I'm going to try and start doing work on my end and with some help with some other people. Potentially get some subtitles more uniform across all the videos and make sure that they're all accurate. as another way of trying to enhance and make this the content on the channel more accessible. So hopefully we see that in the future. But anyway, that's talk for future potential 2025 kind of changes to try and make the channel just again a little bit better. It's gonna be slow and steady, but if I keep making little improvements here or there, I feel like it will eventually translate into more success. Anyway, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel, for being a part of this journey. I really appreciate your time here, and I look forward to being able to share these more with you in the future. So thank you to the patrons and members who are, supporting me directly. It's because of you I'm even considering doing things like doing proper subtitles. Like, these are the little changes that I can make because I feel motivated and supported by you. So thank you for your support. If you want to support me, always can. Links in the description. You can always just join the channel membership and all that. You get access to some fun stuff on Discord, but never feel pressured to. If you're just watching these videos, that's more than enough to support me. I really appreciate that. I'm just happy you're here, so thank you. And until next video, watching me up, see me in next. I'll see you there.